Hello, everybody. Welcome back to 2B2T. We are here with 600 people online. We have finished, well, I mean, not finished, but we've finished the core design of our wall. There you go. I want to fix that little hole there, but there it is. That looks extremely good. I really like the way it's turned out. We've started working on the side over here. Well, you can see we've got some sections to finish, but we've started building it all out, mapping it all out, all the way across. So awesome, awesome. And you can see far in the distance how we have started outlining the plateau. We're going to build a giant walkway, stairway, road that comes up through this center section here and then splits between these two plateaus. We've started on that one as well. That one's going to contain the giant tree. That's where the cathedral is going to go. This is where the castle or palace is going to go. And that's actually what we're working on right now is we've tagged out how wide the wall is going to be, the top of the wall. So it's going to be, this will be the back side. We'll have to outline that. And then this is the foundation outline of the great hall that will be part of the castle. So we need to start counting. 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, I don't have to count. I'm just going to go to the edge of the wall over here to a section of it. So this is just going to be an outline. It's not a whole, not very detailed, you know, but this will kind of show us where our boundaries are going to be and where we're going to do stuff. So we're going to take it all the way to this mark here. All right, so now we can go this way. I should be plopping down some torches as we go, especially since it's nighttime. Otherwise, you know what happens. We get uninvited guests. All right, so we can come over here. Yep, right here. And of course, it's going to go right through the beacon. I mean, that's fine. I don't need the beacon right now. We can move it. Or I can temporarily go around it. We'll temporarily go around it. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, cool. It's a temporary beacon anyways. It was just there so I could dig some stuff out. Hello, tree. All of you will be chopped down soon to be replaced with buildings and other trees and landscapes and things like that. All right, so now this is a great hall. So I guess throne room. My idea is, so I have a copy of the Narnia map. So I want the Narnia map to be able to fit in this thing and look good. Big stained glass windows, intricate designs, huge columns, you name it. All the good stuff. Really high halls and whatnot. And then off from the main hall, you know, in other areas around this plateau will be the castle proper, you know, other rooms, halls, down below dungeons, you name it. We'll put in everything. Everything that you would expect, right? So I just have to decide how big do I want this hall. I want it fairly large. I mean, obviously it's that wide, so I mean, we can come down. No, it's not quite even. I think I'm gonna take it, because if I take it to like right here, like somewhere right here where that tree is, that gives this huge, great big hall all of this space. And then, you know, off to this side, we have a courtyard where that roadway's coming in, right? Won't be a giant well, that hole could be there with a bridge over it. I don't know. And then on this back side against the wall over here and then out into this little spur where the beacon is can be the other castle ramparts and buildings that go up nice and high. I think that would look cool. So let's keep going. I'm excited, I'm excited to continue the walls and keep them going because they're looking really awesome. But I am excited to get this going and built as well. How dare you, tree, get in my way. All right. But mapping all of this out will help me to determine how big I need to build, what I need to do. I mean, there will be deep slate being incorporated, but mostly it's stone and basalts. And so, we don't have to worry about other thing. Is it this tree that I was going to? Let me see. Yeah, that's far enough. I'm happy with right here. All right, so let's go across. So as you can see here, well, you can't when I'm looking down, all of this area here is going to be one gigantic hall that you can walk through. Whoops, wrong button. Technically, you can fly through it. That is the plan. Found another tree. I'm going to have to chop down all these trees. I mean, well, of course. I knew that anyways, but they're getting in the way. All right, so let's put some torches and then start from the front side because I don't know how far I need to go. Basically, we'll build a rectangle frame out of obsidian. Some girders for the floor out of obsidian and some other things, and then we'll start putting in some design elements with the obsidian where like pillars are going to go and stuff like that, and kind of outline the entire fortress, castle, palace, whatever it's called. So I'm going to work on this for a while and then get it kind of mapped out to where you'll be able to see a basic structure out of obsidian. I'm going to have to mine more e-chests. Unfortunately, the several shulks of e-chests I have, some moron named the e-chests, to make them their personal, named items, and so I can't use the Meteor e-chest miner because it won't recognize them as e-chests because they've been renamed. So that's kind of annoying. So I have to do it manually, which slows my progress down a little bit, but that's okay. I'm gonna have to go trade for some more e-chest obsidian and stuff eventually because not gonna have enough for this whole project, just let alone for what I'm building, not to mention what others are potentially gonna build. So yeah, I'm even thinking that while it'll be a pain in the butt a little bit, I want to do the core of the tree, the giant tree that'll go up to world height. I want to build that out of obsidian as well, so that that will last for time indefinite. I think that would be really cool. We'll see, because a lot of the tree is going to be hollow, and we'll have stuff in it. So we'll have to see what we're going to do here. Almost around here. I don't know why I make all these projects so large, It's the challenge, right? Oh, did I go just right far enough? I did. Wow. Pure luck. I would have kept going if the stack of obsidian was bigger. let's link this together and we will have a great hall outlined as far as at least the base level. And then you'll have to use your imagination of, that's what it's going to look like. All right, cool. Let's go ahead and just plop this outline of a couple torches down so that we don't have to worry about spawns when we're working at night. We did light up all of the plateaus, but we haven't gotten all the hillsides. So like you can see a bunch of skeletons and stuff over there. It's just because there's still dark spots going down along the edges that we haven't lit up yet. So we'll get there eventually. All right. So in the corner here is going to be a giant, or will be the core of it. Let me see. That's a 2x2. That's fine. I'm going to do this. This is where I'm going to put up, well, how do I want to do it? Let's come in one. To here. All right. So this is there's going to be several levels, you could say, because I'm not just going to have a great big rectangle, but I need to determine how high I want this first level. I think that's decent on the edge. So whoops, keep hitting all the wrong buttons. So what I would want to do basically is go across here as like the pillars are going to the side pillars where the windows are and all of that are going to stretch up to this level, and then it's going to go in a little bit, with some arches and stuff where it'll continue higher. Not quite cathedral style, because we will have a separate cathedral over there. But definitely, in line with that arched support design and everything. And there'll be a few inner columns too that we'll map out. So let's go ahead and just come across here. Hope you don't mind us doing obsidian placing. I know you got to see multiple episodes of that during our build out of the Oracle, which was definitely fun. It's just, what you have to do sometimes, right? If you're going to build out things, it takes time to do stuff. Oops. So far, we've got almost everybody here. They've traveled out. There's a couple of people still traveling their alts out, their alt accounts. Winter's still on his way. Let me see. We got Dalkio here. We've got Mac and LZ and Woody. Oct is here as well. No, is Oct here? Did Oct make it? I think Oct is here. I can't remember. He's on vacation, but I can't remember if he made it or not. I think he is. So we've got most of the core group here. There are a few other members that have joined us in the past, but they aren't on very much. And so, we haven't shared out the chords. They're still part of the group and everything. Whoops, went too high. But, we kind of want the active people here is what we're shooting for. All right. There we go. Let me go ahead and work on this a little bit, and then I will come back and we'll have an outline of, kind of what it's going to look like, what the structure is going to look like, how large it's going to be, all of that good stuff. All right, so we will be back. All right, we're back. We've been placing obsidian for quite some time. No real plan. Stated this before. I don't plan these things out. I just go as I go, and whatever gets created is what gets created. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Um, but anyways, we have definitely been creative. I guess that's the way we could put it. Let me just finish this one last section here. I mean, obviously this isn't done, but then I'll kind of walk through what I have come up with. I'm gonna have to go mine a bunch of ender chests so I have more obsidian. Oh, I thought there was one last section, but oh, we got one more. So below us is the Great Hall that we were mapping out. My challenge has been how to put this gigantic hall into the fortress or palace or whatever you want to call it. And yet, I'm a very practical person, so it's like, okay, well, if this was a real build, there would have to be supports and things like that. And I am out of torches and all that good stuff, which means that a mob will probably spawn. So let me come over here so that we can talk and hopefully nothing spawns. Oh, well, too late. Something already spawned. See? All right. So below down here is the main hall. So imagine on this side here, facing that direction, there's going to be great big, like stained glass windows and whatnot. And then you have this huge hall. You have these giant, giant pillars that will go up from the floor here all the way up. There'll be like a side portion of the hall out over here, and then of course the main open area. I even extended it on this end. Um, I mean, the main hall will kind of end about right here, but then I did put in, well, we could have great big doors, and then it continues on, and like this is a great big glass atrium thing out on this side. So that's what I've got there. Comes into a second level here where at least in this section we can do a like a floor here and a little bit of a level right here. And somewhere along the way, oh, we've got zombie coming towards us. Hello, sir. May I assist you? Well, we both took damage, but I am the victor. I am tougher than you. We'll just come over here and stand by the beacon and eat an apple. All right. And in the center, we're going to go up further. And so we're going to be putting some elements up here and whatnot, and a tower that goes up. Then I started mapping out additional rooms. Have no idea what's going to go in them. So we've got like this room here, fairly large. We've got this room here, which kind of goes this way and extends this way. I'm going to do this as a hall with open windows facing out that way that leads into a high tower here. And there's a little alcove thing here with the curve as well. We won't be putting anything here except for the outer grounds before the walls, but I am going to extend off this direction, and then somewhere in this area will be a main gate because that's where the road path will be coming up to the plateau. I also left a spot open over here where I may have the path coming up to the plateau on that side as well. So obviously there'll be more rooms, halls, there'll be more levels. So like this section here and this section over here won't just end. I mean, this necessarily won't be the roof, there might be additional levels in there. Haven't decided yet. So, yeah, that is what we've got so far. If it was daytime, you could see it better. It does look really nice as far as like structure, but you're probably not going to be able to see it from out here with the rain. I mean, sort of. You can see a big structure, but there's a high tower, the main structure there, but it's kind of hard to see in the dark. Anyways, that is the plan. By the way, you probably saw the episode where I went with Woody and we raided a base. I spent time sorting through all of the shulkers, and I started putting, compiling all the different things into separate shulkers and freeing up. I actually emptied out all of these plus others, and then combined them into other shulks. Um, Started putting stuff in here and combining stuff, food items, even some little kit type things. Put a couple of those together. So got that sorted. So that's something. I was productive. Um, this is new. I think this is stuff that Oct has been bringing. Yeah, this is all stuff that. No, no, no. This is Dalkio. Wow. Okay, he found a totem stash. We have plenty of totems. We'll have to put those in shulks. We have a bunch of empty ones, so that's easy. I like his banners that he's got over here. I've seen this one around the server in places, so I don't know if he's placed it or he's collected it. And then he's got these two here. They look really decorative, really cool. And I've been collecting cherry blossoms. That's why that's up there. It's not for the wood. It's for the leaves. I've got a full chest, excuse me, over here so far collected somewhere. There it is. So, and I'll keep collecting because we're going to need a lot more than that for the other plateau over there. Excuse me, where the giant tree will go. Anyways, yeah. I'll need to mine more obsidian before I can really continue this, but I'm going to also start putting in some base flooring and stuff like that. And down here, by the way, there'll be other things. There'll be hallways and rooms and stuff underneath the entire thing too. So I have to plan all of that out. I say plan very lightly because, like I said, I'm not planning anything. I'm just kind of going as I go and say, well, okay, we'll make this room this size and let's go up this high and whatnot. But I do have ideas like, this hall here. This side would be doors and stuff facing into these rooms, and down there and down there. And then this could be all glass with a couple doors that come out into like a balcony thing that overlooks the wall there. The room here, I think this would be really cool if we do some sort of a glass ceiling in an arch pattern. That's why I put a little bit of a foundation of an arch. We can do big stained glass here, maybe a big statue here that faces that way towards the hall. Maybe like something that holds a sword. That would be cool, right? I've done that before. Back in the days when we didn't have all these blocks, I made it out of, I think, just iron blocks. That's all I made it out of. But it looked good. So anyways, yeah. It's a good start. It shows that there's a structure up here. We're not just building some walls around the plateau. We've actually got a plan in mind, or I do. Don't know how much of a plan it is, but it's there in my head somewhere. It'll all come together just like the Oracle did. But there, yeah, in the day you can actually see it a lot better. If only the rain would stop. That is one thing I have discovered and decided. It seems like it rains more on the 2B2T server than any other server I've played on. There we go. It stopped. Anyways, thanks for joining me. Oops, sorry for the shout. We'll see you in the next episode. Take care.